Chris, are we ready to look at that finished one yet?
Oh, you want to look at the one I've done before? Yeah, absolutely, we can do that. So just to reiterate what Barry's saying, it's surprising how fast the picture builds up because the system is doing so much work in the background. I've been doing this for a while now, and I'm always constantly surprised at how fast this builds up. But it gets you to a plan.
Well, we've
really
all seen
quickly.
this in real time. We've seen this in real time. There's no time compression on this. This is actually as it's occurred. And remember, this could be an oil refinery. This could be a hydrogen plant. This could be any sort of things that a plan, a project, or a strategy needs to be built for. So, can we have a look at the finished version, Chris?
So here's one I did before. This is nominally a strategy for Uber, although I have to point out that every time I do this demo, I end up adding something and it starts to look less and less like a sensible strategy for Uber. But I think it illustrates the point. And you can see on the strategy board already, you can see that we've now got text by vision and mission. We've got values. We've got goals. We've done a strategy house. We've done all of the elements of analysis, etc. And I'll probably start from the back and work the way forward. So if I look at what a completed strategy scorecard would look like.
For the avoidance of doubt, this is a fictional one, not one that Chris has done for any particular client, correct?
No, as I say, it's nominally for Uber. I've never worked for Uber. I just picked Uber because I think most people are at least familiar with it as a business. And it was a business of sufficient complexity to demonstrate all of the features. But here you can see a scorecard. You see it's fully mapped out with all of the goals and all of the perspectives broken down into objectives. Each objective is broken down into a KPI. The KPIs then have got performance charts tracking. But it gives you a sense of what a completed scorecard might look like. And it shows you how all of the charts cover exactly the same time period. So you can run your finger up and down and say, well, what happened? What was that block there? Did anything happen over here? Now, I can't quite work out what that stuff was, what's going on here. And you can start to dig into that to understand. So it looks like the strategy is working. All the numbers are moving upwards and to the right.
And just a quick point, go and try that at home, folks. Make sure you put real data in.
Make sure, of course,
Don't make the data fit your aspiration. Keep it real. That's the health warning.
Here's a neat feature. So one of the things is you would imagine, we talked about the logic between the layers in the balanced scorecard. So you would imagine that there's a cause and effect. If you get better at your internal business process, you will see an improvement in the customer outcomes. And if you see an improvement in the customer outcomes, you will see an improvement in the financial outcomes. So you would hope that there would be a correlation, at least a correlation, if not a cause effect, but at least a correlation between those variables. And so the system will actually calculate them. And if I click on this, it takes a little while. What it actually does is it calculates the pairwise correlations between all of your KPIs, and it looks at various delay periods between the potential cause and effect pairs, and it analyzes them, and it comes back with the R-squared rating, which says that abandoned hails and registered users are actually highly correlated. Now, in the real world, actually, you would expect that not to be the case. But it's saying that there is actually a high correlation between those two variables, a much lower correlation between average wait time and net cash flow. Now, again, if this was real data, you might say, so it appears that average wait time is not a huge determinant of how much money they make.
Yeah.
So all that effort that we're spending on reducing average wait time is perhaps misspent.
And just a reassurance here
that's probably not true. It's just that random data.
For our dear viewer here, Chris, is don't worry about R-squared. This is stuff that strategists will look at, financial departments will be looking at, and for looking at correlations. If you're running the bike shop, which was the example we gave as the first iteration, is probably not something you're ever going to want to see necessarily, but it's there if you want it. It's there to be used.
Yeah. I honestly hope, Barry, that as people get more and more strategic in their outcome, even a bike shop would look at this and say, hey guys, we're spending more and more money on sending out flyers and it's not generating the effect that we thought it was going to affect. So we should stop doing that and start focusing on those organized events that we're organizing, because that seems to have a much bigger impact.
Immensely powerful. Immensely powerful.
Exactly. And I'm hoping that by making software available, this is the kind of thing that large corporates would do, which small businesses would just never be able to, because you haven't got the technology.
Thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions on.
And so I'm hoping that more ordinary businesses will be able to and understand the value of doing this. Yeah, okay. So if we want to look, I've just now clicked on this reports here, reports in StratNavApp. Don't worry about the StratNavApp part. We're just going to talk about the reports part. And what this is showing me is the list of all of the parts of the strategy that we've completed for this particular one. And I can select which parts I do and don't want to include in my strategy. Now, for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to we're going to include everything in it. And if I click Generate HTML Report, it will now produce me a full report of the entire content in this particular plan.
Now, at the moment, the podcast software isn't showing that, Chris. So you may need to.
Oh, it's not. Hang on.
So you may need to change window.
That's why I was giving. Right. Okay. I beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Let me just reload it back into the original window. And now you'll see it's produced a full report containing all of the content, all of the models, all of the information behind the models, all of the analysis is laid out as almost like a single document. Now, this is showing the HTML version, which is obviously very useful. There's your full scorecard. There's your full analysis of that scorecard. It also has the ability. I'll just keep going to the end so you can see the kind of thing that you can see a decent Gantt chart there, and you can see a financial projection, etc. So that was by clicking this one, HTML report. You can also say, give me all the same content, but produce it as a MS Word report, which you can then edit or email.
And as it sounds like your own corporate on there, can't you?
And you can also, at the bottom here, set up a template with your own corporate colors and logos and style and boilerplate text and all of those good things. So that whenever you produce a report with whatever subset of content you want to produce, it always comes out in your own corporate standard format. In the Word report as well, it'll also auto-generate tables of contents and cross-reference. So if one part of the model refers to another part of the model, it'll give you the page reference to find the bit that it's referring to, and that's all automated for you.
So there, the viewer is StratNavApp from beginning, middle, through to an end. We started with a bike shop, we ended up with a multinational, and the same principles apply. Simple to use, intuitive, needs to get in. So you need to get into it and play with it, but you'll find there's a bundle of contextual help. There's the entire blog that is running alongside it, which provides all you could ever want to know. And of course, StratNavApp, the team at StratNavApp are more than happy to field questions, tickets, problem tickets, issues, and also they're very keen to speak to their clients. I contribute to the development of StratNavApp through my continued use and working with StratNavApp to enhance the product from a user perspective, an operational perspective, and they use other clients as well, so who want to contribute, because it's again, strategizing from the perspective of the customer is a very good thing. So it's frictionless, quick, easy to use, Here, even for a multinational, we're up to 53%. We actually did better than that on the bike shop. I think we got for 67%. So in the brief time where we started from nothing, we got a long way down the road. And so I just want to thank Chris for his time. We're going to do some more of these because we've had a lot of interest in how it works. And it can be slightly daunting at the beginning because you go, well, what does all this do? Start at the beginning, work through the AI tips at the top of the screen, and I'll ask Chris to point where those are again. There's one up there. It's anything basically with a green circle and a white eye in the middle. Top left there, AI tip, just above where it says strategy board. Follow that through, and it'll help you populate. It'll tell you what to do next. You've got the navigation, which is the strategy board that takes you around. And again, I'm speaking as a user, not a developer, which is why I start with mission statement of values and not data. So different. So it goes for all tastes and all preferences, and comes with a user recommendation from me. I love it, and I think more organizations would benefit as we have done from its use. So thank you, Chris. Great demonstration.
Thank you so much, Barry. It's been such a pleasure to share this with you. Always great to have your feedback as well. This for us is a journey to get more organizations, particularly of medium and smaller sizes, able to benefit from the value of strategy. It's just great to have you on board, and love to get more listeners on board as well.